Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we have something special in store for you guys. But before we get into that, I have an apology to make. As some of you may have picked up on my stupidity in my most recent video on the Sullivans. You may have picked up on the fact that I called her Sue over and over and over and over and over again. Right, by that point it's no longer a mistake, is it? Surely. But it was a genuine. I don't have a clue, okay? I don't have a reason. I think, no. She just looks like a Sue. That's all that I can say. But the worst thing is, I even put up a pinned post to apologise and acknowledge it, and I still called her Sue. See, at that point, it's not. It can't be. It can't be an error. I think I was having one of those days. I don't know. Her name is Zoe. For those that don't know, her name is Zoe. Right. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, I may have offended certain people. So, if you follow the Sullivans, you will know that these have, well, they have something going on at the moment. They need to move house, and they're not doing so. So what's happening? So the backstory here is that Ben he's been working in the RAF, the military, for 27 years, and he's just been told, well, not just, but he was told that he has to leave his job. He's been made redundant, or been told that he's no longer required, probably fired. I don't know. It's one of those, right? So he's on the lookout for work again, but the problem is that the housing where they live right now is military housing, military accommodation. So he's only there, or their family are only living there courtesy of the military, courtesy of his job, and that's the drama.
I'm going for my very first job interview for 27 years. I've got to be there in about 25 minutes, so I'm just going to have a quick chat with you before I leave the house. It's actually on the base where I work already, so it's at RAF Lossiemouth, but it's working with the Poseidon, the P8. So I'm looking forward to it. It's one of the buildings that I've had my eye on to work in as a civilian. So yeah, basically it's working on the P8, the Poseidon, or working for the squadron anyway. And it's a civil service job.
Doesn't he look lovely in shirt and tie? Doesn't he? He looks lovely, doesn't he? That shade of blue really brings out his eyes.
It's a little bit of a pay drop from what I'm used to, but that's going to happen anyway. But it gives me, if I do get the job, it gives me a foot in the door into the Atlantic building at Lossiemouth, which has a lot more scope for employment later on. So yeah, I'm a little bit nervous, not apprehensive, because I kind of know the job, so that's okay. I kind of know all about P8s anyway, so that's okay. Poseidon and what they're doing in the squadrons and the maritime defence and all that kind of thing. Kind of know all about that, but it's still quite nerve-wracking after 27 years of working for the Royal Air Force, and you know, you just rely on them for everything. It's now time to stand on your own 2 feet and leave the Air Force and go out in the big wide world. I mean, we've already kind of started doing that anyway with our YouTube and Zoe's little business she's got on the side and all that kind of thing.
Wow, did I hear that right? That you regard your little YouTube as trying to stand on your own 2 feet. You do realise that your family are not there to be your breadwinners. Just putting it out there, that is not their job. And as for your ever adorable wife, Zoe, her side business. Her side business is like a little personalised, like personalised clothing or something like that, is it? Where exactly is she selling these things? You know, I can't seem to find anything, and she doesn't seem to advertise too well, so point me in the direction. I'd love to do a review, paid of course.
So yeah, we've kind of made that step already. Mentally, we've made that step. But now this is the big one for me. This is the first job interview. I would like this job. I really would like this job, because it would take a load off my mind to know that I've got a job to step into, and I can step into that as soon as possible, really. And it's a job that I already know, so I've got everything crossed. I'm just going to go in. I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm just going to go in, do my best, see what happens, and at least then I'll have had an experience anyway of a job interview, what it entails, and whether I kind of come across well, or my CV, or all that kind of stuff. So my CV's okay and all that kind of thing, because you don't know, after such a long time, you just don't know. And we do have resettlement people to help us, but
now the resettlement that he talks about is when you leave the military and they help you get settled elsewhere, and to do so they actually give you a lump sum of £11,500 tax free. So that's a good start, and obviously gives them a footing to actually, resettle, as the term implies. So fast forward a month into August of 2022, and he's talking in painful detail about how they need to find a house.
So it's one of those things, it is a big worry. Trying to find another job is a big worry of mine. Getting housing from leaving the Air Force is a big worry of mine. We've still got 6 months or so to worry about it, but it's still a big worry. It's one of those things, I don't think people understand really how much stress and anxiety it does cause. Leaving a job after 27 years and that job providing your home as well. I know we pay rent on it, but it provides your home. It is a big stress, it is a big worry, and it's something that me and Zoe talk about all the time, and it's something that's always in the back of my mind. It's something that we don't take lightly. It's something that is forefront in our minds at all times, knowing that we need to find another home and all that kind of everything else that comes with it, the job, the home, and all of that. So yeah, but anyway, as that progresses and as we get to different stages, we'll keep you informed and keep you up to speed and let you know what's going on.
So in case you missed it, this is August, and he's saying that they have 6 months from now approximately to find another place to live. And don't forget, they have 12 children to cater for, all under the age of 18. This is fairly unprecedented. I'm not quite sure where they're thinking of trying to go, but trying to fit 12 kids into anywhere, you're looking at a big property. So they're saying that they are giving it a lot of consideration, but I would be panicking if I had 6 months to find a house big enough for 14 people. But fear not, Sir Galahad. Ben has found his own job. Panic over.
I've been dying to tell you this for a few weeks, but I haven't been able to because it hasn't been finalised. But it has been finalised now. I am officially leaving the Air Force early. It's come through, so I can now talk about it. My exit date now from the Royal Air Force isn't January, it's October the 23rd.
So this is relevant to the fact that he's leaving his job. He's had to bring it forward, or he's brought it forward so that he can start his new job. And this is relevant to the discharge from service. On the discharge from service, the following periods of notice to vacate will be issued by DIO. And this is the notice to vacate regarding the accommodation that they have. Normal discharge, which applies to him. On normal discharge or premature voluntary discharge, the DIO will issue 93 days notice to vacate, timed to expire on the last day of service. If you require a longer period of notice to support your alternative accommodation, you should request the DIO loss of entitlement team to reissue. Okay, so basically what that means is that they get 93 days from the day that he leaves the job. So that's essentially 3 months. and 3 months from the end of October was the end of January. So technically speaking, they should have been out by now. That's not to say that they can't stay. We'll get to that in a minute. But that is when we're talking about what the hell are they doing in terms of trying to find somewhere else for their 12 children, most of them are very young children, what are they doing? And that is the time scale in order to find a new place, and it's already expired.
I've got a start date with a new job, which I'll talk about in a minute, but I'm really excited about it. It does mean we've now got a bit of we've now got to look into housing a little bit quicker than we were before, but we are looking into housing and our options, so we are doing that now. Also, the housing issue as well, we're looking at several options at the moment, including buying, but I don't want to talk about it yet because we've got a lot of irons in the fire, and it's just which road do we choose, which road do we go down.
Well, if we're talking about irons in the fire and which road you should go down, these are your options. Some of your options. You can become an irregular occupant, which is ironic given your irregularity. Seems ideal for you. If you have been unable to secure alternative accommodation before expiry of the notice to vacate, you should still be in SFA and continue to seek a place to move to. So basically it's saying there that you are able to stay, but you need to continue looking for a place, so it's not a long-term solution, it's not a long-term fix for you just to stay there indefinitely. You will be classed as an irregular occupant and charged a new rate that is based on local council rents, council tax, water, sewage rates, etc. So you can continue to stay where you are, but you will not be privileged to the lower rents that you were whilst you were working for them. Whilst this is not full market rate, it may be considerably higher than your current SFA charges. These figures are individually calculated and issued in plenty of time for you to apply for housing benefit if applicable. So it won't be a full market rate price that you'll be paying, but it will be a lot higher than you were paying before. So if you calculated that into your little irons in the fire type thing. Right, this is more info on the notice to vacate. The notice to vacate period is to allow you time to sort out your future housing if you haven't already done so. There may be circumstances when you can apply for more time to secure your future home. If this is the case, you will be required to complete a proportionality exercise assessment, which will be included in your NTV pack. It is your responsibility to ensure that you and your entitled family members have accommodation to move into. For those seeking social housing through the local authority, you should apply as soon as you know that you will need housing. You should update your application when you have your NTV and keep the local authority informed if your circumstances change in any way. You are entitled to a statutory homelessness interview at the local authority housing office 56 days before the NTV expires. So, Ben, have you done that? Is that what you're waiting for? Have you applied to the council and you're waiting for them to provide you with a house? Is that what you're doing? Because at the moment I see nothing else that you're doing. Nothing whatsoever. You have the means to move. You have the job. You have 12 kids. And you're just not doing anything.
Kind of sad to be leaving the RAF after 27 years, you know, 26 and a half years, but it's that time. It's time to go. I can't stay in the Air Force forever. It's been a great career, which I'll talk about more in another vlog. But for now, I'm happy. And I'm happy that I've got another job to go to. So that is the first big milestone to jump over, or first big hurdle I should say, to jump over. And the next big hurdle is housing. So yeah, I'm very pleased.
Now, don't be worried about the housing, because you've been given a resettlement grant of £11,500 approximately. When you leave the regular armed forces, you will be entitled to a lump sum payment, provided that you have served at least 12 years from the date of entry. You are not entitled to an EDP, an ill health award, have not previously received the resettlement grant, and are not a member of the reserved forces. The resettlement grant is currently £11,651, tax-free lump sum. So, what did one do with such a large amount of money, you may be asking? Did they resettle? Did they go and put a deposit down on a house? Did they put a deposit down on a rental property? Did they find a new property? Did they hire vans to move all the stuff? Hire removal people to come and pack all the stuff up? No, they didn't do that, because you've got Zoe continuing to buy things and pack and just tidy things up, organise things in her little boxes and stuff, and not packing away, of course, no. And no, they didn't put anything down, as far as I know, obviously. But what they did do is they went ahead and they bought a drone.
So we thought, right, well, we'll do Cooper Park then, because we want to use our drone as well.
Yeah.
What's that? What are you doing? Very good. Yeah. So we're going to test the drone out first.
So this is the drone that they purchased, about 560 quid. This was a month after he left his old job, so, you know, give it a month or so to get the grant to come through. First thing he does, buys a drone. What's he on a drone for? It's not a super duper YouTuber or anything. What do you need a drone for? That expensive. Instead of moving your family. The mind absolutely boggles. Ben, sort yourself out. Find a home for your kids. You have 12 human beings you are responsible for. I have serious doubts. I have serious issues with the fact that you lived in military housing for 27 years. You were paying next to nothing in rent and bills and stuff like that. You had a huge house with a huge garden. You were there. You had kid after kid after kid after kid. Why did you do that? Because the ordinary person cannot afford to have as many children as you do. Why did you do that? Because you were in military housing. That is what's afforded you to have so many children. So did you actually believe that you would be there forever? Did you think that the best way of using your time is to have as many children as you possibly could? Or did you just not think? The mind absolutely boggles. So you're stuck now. You have to move out, and you still have to move out, although you're being afforded some time, obviously, to get your shit together, right? And you have 12 human beings, and they are all under the age of 18. You actually have to care for these people, and you have to find them somewhere to live. If you do not find a home for 12 little people to live, there is something seriously wrong with you. Both of you. It's unbelievable that you haven't... I mean, if it was me, and I was bringing up so many kids, I'd want to have some sort of nest egg anyway to fall back on in case of such a situation like this. You'd be maybe saving up for a house. You were there 27 years on such as a small amount of rent, and you would save up and have enough money to buy a house, because the size of house that you now need would be actually quite expensive to buy. That's the problem that you have there. And are you looking for social housing? Because I can tell you for a start, there's virtually nothing in your area for 4 beds, which I think is the minimum that you need. And you're in a bit of a pickle, and you're letting your children down really a lot. So get your act together, stop buying drones, and yeah, I'll see you again soon in another video. Take care. Everybody else, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new, because I need to get to 9,000 subs before the end of, we'll say, March. Okay, just be a bit more realistic. Yeah. Okay, please sub, please hit the notification bell, and I shall see you again soon in another video. Take care, and bye bye.